I really want this to be a message for all of us, me included, making this, that don't be a hypocrite. Don't post something on social media, but then don't follow through with the actual message of why people are posting something. Today, I've been seeing lots of posts, Blackout Tuesday. And yes, we are all standing in solidarity with what has gone on in the world. Hashtag Black Lives Matter. Hashtag Blackout Tuesday. But what doesn't sit right with me is that a lot of people will post that image, but then they won't do anything in their own lives, in their own communities, in their own families to actually address what is going on. And a lot of people don't want to talk about this. Even me making this video, I'm like, am I going to say something wrong? Is someone going to misinterpret what I say? I haven't made notes, so clearly I'm going to miss out points that I want to make on this, and maybe I'm not going to articulate things in the right way. But before we get into this, I just want to encourage you to use your voice. You might not think that you've got a following. You might not think that you're an influencer because maybe you've got 10 people subscribed to your YouTube channel. You have 2 people that like your Facebook posts. You've started a TikTok account and you're literally getting no views. But I'm here to tell you that you are an influencer. If you can influence one person positively, you're really impacting the world in such a big way that you don't even realize. I think a lot of people, again, myself included, I thought, should I make a video? Is it really going to make a difference? And again, I want to encourage you to use your voice. The more people that can speak up, and I really hope that what is going on in the world, that you can apply that to different things that maybe you've been through. You might have been through something where you have been silenced. And this is why I think I'm even more passionate about this, because things have happened to me this year, last year, the year before, where powerful people in my local authority and other places, people that are supposed to stand by you and help you, they really tried to silence me. And I got to that point where everyone else has got to that point now. Do you know what? I've just had enough. I've had enough of it. And I want to say to you, I know it's scary to maybe speak out. I know you think you might get silenced, but if you don't do anything, then nothing will change. By you, and again, this isn't a dig at people that are putting a post up and it's just black and they're saying hashtag Black Lives Matter, hashtag Blackout Tuesday. That's great that you've done that, but what else can we all do together? Something I really want to talk about as well is, number one, I want to encourage you. It doesn't matter if you've got 10 people following you. That's 10 people. Imagine 10 people in a room right now listening to what you have got to say. That is really powerful, because those 10 people can go and tell another 10. Those 10 will go and tell another. And before you know it, you've got thousands of people that have heard your message. So don't use that as an excuse. Oh, who's going to listen to me? No one is following me. No, they are. And people are listening to you, okay? I also want to talk about how so many of us are unaware. Look, I'm not black, clearly. I don't know what it is like to be black. I know what it's like to be an ethnic minority, and I'm very fortunate that I haven't had to experience any racism whatsoever. However, I had these thoughts very recently, I would say maybe a year, 2 years ago, of I used to work in the radio industry. And before I tell this story, I want to make the point of not everyone is racist. And obviously you know that because you're watching this and you're probably not racist. A lot of things that people do in their life, it's not racist. They just don't know any different. Now, I'm not saying that's right. I'm saying that this is, and somebody said it, and I'll try and find the post and link it below this, but I saw someone else post this and they said racism is really complex. And it really is, because if you've got things happening in society that is normal, it's not classed as racist because racism is so complex. Let me tell you a story to really illustrate what I'm saying. So I used to work in the radio industry, in the media, and I was doing really well. I got to the age of about 21. I had worked for 3 radio stations at that point. I had won an award from Channel 4. You know, I was getting paid to host events to thousands of people. I was interviewing celebrities. I was just, you know, living a really good life. I was so happy with how my life was. And then I kind of, so that was kind of regional radio I was doing on the local and regional scale. And then I really went, okay, I've got enough experience now. I think I'm talented. I've got fresh ideas. I am going to make that jump and I want to go national. I want to get on a national radio station. Now, I went to every single radio station that was my style, that you probably know. So places like the Hits, places like, I'm going to forget loads of them now because I haven't been in the radio industry for so long, but lots of different radio stations, the Hits, Heat, Capital, all these ones. And what would happen is I would always get down to that last possible point where you either get the job or you don't. So in radio and the media, you might have to go for different auditions, send them different show reels. I got to the stage where I was doing that audition to see if I would get the show. And, you know, there'd be a producer sat there and with me, and I would be doing this, pretending I was doing a radio show for their station. So I would get to that last possible stage in all these radio stations, but I would never get the job. And obviously at the time and up until very recently, I just thought, oh, okay, well, I'm not their style. I'm not what they're looking for. Diddle-a-diddle-a-da. But what I did do is, after I didn't get the job and then it went to someone else, a few months later, I would look at that radio station schedule and I would see that the person that got the job was always a white young guy every single time. And again, at the time, I didn't think anything of it. And even now, I don't believe it's racist. I don't believe I didn't get the job because I was Asian. But I think what happens in the media industry and what is clearly happening in the world is that I really hope I'm explaining this properly, is that it's so complex. It's not racist. It's because they're just hiring what they know. So there was already a lot of white young guys on that station at the time. So they're just hiring what they know. And I do laugh at this because, you know, I started off in the media industry. I'm going to show my age here. 20, yeah, oh my God, that's a long time. About 17, I think it was 17 years ago, I got my first job in the radio industry. And the big players like the BBC and ITV, they were saying the same thing they say today. And it's they want to encourage people from ethnic minority backgrounds, Asian, Black, to apply. And yeah, I've been doing that for a very long time. And it's not just my story. There's loads of people that are doing that. Why is the same message that happened 17 years ago and probably even before that, the same thing happens now? I bet if I was to go on the BBC website right now, it would say, we encourage people from ethnic minorities to apply. But then what's happening? This is kind of my point of this video, is that, okay, fair enough, you can post a picture on Facebook and saying Black Lives Matter, saying Blackout Tuesday, but then where is the action? There's such a difference in saying something or showing something, but then actually not doing anything. And back to that story, it's like people are saying they're actively encouraging ethnic minorities to apply for these jobs, but then where is the action? Why don't these people make special projects or programs that work with ethnic minority people and see what's going on. Am I less talented than someone that's white? I don't know, maybe I am. maybe I wasn't that talented in the radio industry. Who knows? Talent and all of that stuff is subjective, isn't it? So it's really hard to cover everything I want to cover in this video, and I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear what you think, but I've always just tried to do this with my content as well, especially on my Mum to Millionaire podcast, where I always just want to encourage women, especially women from diverse backgrounds, to stand up. Don't be silenced. And also, do you know what? I don't want this to be a like, oh, white and black, white and Asian. No. Do you know what? I've taught my son to not see colour. I've grown up not seeing colour. I grew up being the only coloured person, the only Asian person, the only Asian, black and all of it person where I grew up in Oxfordshire, and I never felt it. So that's why I think sometimes when I'm seeing things and hearing other people's stories of racism, I still, like, it's like I can't believe it because I have never experienced it, but I'm fully aware it goes on, and it makes me really sad. And like I'm saying, I don't know, maybe I should have planned this video. I don't know if any of this is making sense, but we need to continue this discussion, not just today. We need to have this discussion tomorrow, and it's not just about talking. What action can we take? What action can you take? And I heard someone say on a TV program here in the UK today, actually the presenter asked kind of, what can we do? And the lady said, do you know what we can do? We can have conversations in our homes. And she was saying, you know, why is it that if we're in a car and we see someone black coming towards us, we lock our door? And I thought that's a really powerful example of, again, how we might not think we are racist or anything racist is going on, but all of this stuff is built into our subconscious. And again, it's not just about, you might have a Asian person seeing a white person saying something. You might have a black person saying something about a white person. All of us, it doesn't matter what colour you are, it doesn't matter what background you're from, all of us have a responsibility. And if you feel, even after watching this, you feel that you can't put your voice out there, I'm going to say this to you again. I'm here for you. I want to encourage you to spread your message, to tell your story. Don't let people silence you, okay? Don't let people silence, because if you don't speak up, the world isn't going to change. And even for me, I try and speak up about certain things. Some things I talk about, they are, you know, some of it is really traumatic for me. So some of it I haven't openly spoken about yet. But, you know, as time goes on, I know I'll be able to speak more openly about things that have happened to me and my son. I've been writing a book. Maybe that will come out in a few years. Who knows? So again, I know this is probably the 10th time I said it, but I am encouraging you to stand up. If you don't feel you aren't going to be taken seriously, just please make a video like this, put it on YouTube, put it on your Facebook. If you don't want to outwardly do it on social media, talk to your friends about it, talk to your family, and do things like what I'm doing. Maybe have something in the background you're working on, that when you do feel that you've got that strength to speak up, you've got it there. Start writing that book, start writing a blog post. You know, we can all, I know you might think you're one person, but you're a powerful person. You are talented, you are unique, you are valued, and people need to hear what you've got to say. I do want to apologise, because this probably could have been a much better video. This isn't edited. I haven't written any notes. I'm just talking to you because, and again, I just felt I needed to do this because it's just not right for me to just put a post up being black and then just saying hashtag Blackout Tuesday when I can do something like this. I've built up the confidence to make a video, and I just want to get you to that same position as well. Again, I'm going to stress that if you have posted an image or a hashtag, that is great. But I also want you to think about what actions can you take? What can you do at home? How can you speak to people? Do you have Black colleagues that you can talk to and actually really properly talk to them for once and listen to what they're saying? So many times it's like we try and speak out and people don't listen. So again, maybe the last thing we should leave this video on is listen. Yes, it's great if we can use our voice, but do you know what's really powerful and really underrated is listening. Listen to what people have to say, because we can all make a change if you speak up, but you also listen as well.